Hello everyone, it's me Frank, bringing you a coronavirus breaking news update from Vietnam. So before I begin, let me say, wash your hands for 20 seconds with soap and water. Do this frequently. Hand sanitizer isn't as good as hand washing, but it's portable and convenient, so use that too. So Vietnam was stable, sitting at 16 cases with all 16 recovered. But recently, a Vietnamese woman who visited Fashion Week in Milan and Paris brought back the strain with her. The current case count is rising and is currently at 31. So it's difficult to say how certain Vietnam's numbers are without knowing exactly how they are testing, who they are testing, and what is the accuracy of their test kits. This goes for every country though. As I mentioned in my last video, it looks like Korea is the country that's most aggressively testing. I believe they implemented drive-through testing points. And speaking of that, as that was my topic of my last video, I spoke about what I thought about countries and the reporting of their numbers, and I was correct in my hunch that Iran had more cases than South Korea, or at least that's what the official numbers reflect at this time. Okay, back to talking about Vietnam. Several things do seem certain though. First, once word of a case comes out, nearly everyone knows. Vietnam is a young country demographically, and they are jacked into social media, whether it be their own Zalo or Facebook or Instagram. After the news broke, I was informed by several people through social media about the news, and typically I hear the accurate case counts before the official counts have been updated. I'll just be reporting on official numbers though, and I'll do my best to make it clear when something is an opinion. Another thing is certain, the Vietnamese government is taking this matter very seriously. They're willing to quarantine people they suspect may be exposed to COVID-19. They also impose travel bans, and now they're contemplating visa restrictions for certain countries. Vietnam is also taking a declaration of health from all people arriving to the country. It sounds like the government's goal is to get a declaration from every citizen as well, but the exact way they will do this is unclear to me. An example of how serious Vietnam is taking things, the government has vowed to seek criminal charges against those who knowingly lie about their health status. This might actually include the wealthy Vietnamese woman I mentioned earlier, who was the vector for at least 13 new cases. Talking about Vietnamese quarantine. In a previous video, I talked about a region north of Hanoi named San Loi. This region was locked down with its 10,000 residents. Since it was locked down, I heard no news about it until recently. The region is no longer under quarantine, and no new cases have been reported there. Many people have been asking, how safe is it to travel? Well, in my opinion, it's relatively safe, okay? People are being screened, sick people are told not to travel, but it's not just about getting sick or anything like that. For example, who knows what will happen to your flight? My flight back to the US has been changed twice already, and it's still 2 months out. So expect flight disruptions and have backup plans and insurance, okay? Just my opinion. So I'm currently focusing on staying in Vietnam, and it's my goal to do so without excessive visa runs. Speaking of visa runs, I may be in a tight situation because Vietnam will be clamping down on visas issued to countries with excessive COVID-19 case counts, and the US looks like it might be one of those. Personally, I imagine the average person traveling for holiday can't afford to be quarantined for a couple of weeks. Now, I'm not trying to spread panic about the coronavirus in any of my videos. I mean, it's true, the flu does kill more people, but I still think COVID-19 is a serious virus, and that should be treated as such. It's also something that I'm interested in talking about, and I think we can learn a lot from this experience. So what can we learn from this outbreak? Well, it's good to stock up on some basic supplies. Having a small surplus of things that you would use anyways is helpful in times like during outbreaks, floods, hurricanes, tornadoes, any emergency or natural disaster or any type of disruption like that. It's also good to do that early and not all at once. So I mean, there's not like a panic doesn't occur. Also, in my opinion, having some money saved up for several months of expenses is important. Life events can occur and cause disruption to your work. If you live in a right to work state or a place that doesn't require sick leave, then you could be in a tough spot if your employer decides to fire you over missed days. And again, like I said at the beginning, hand hygiene is probably the best defense against getting sick and should be done daily, frequently throughout the day by everyone, regardless of the existence of coronavirus or not. We always have the common cold and the flu, and other ways to get sick. So just wash your hands, all right? Anyways, that's all I have. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you found this useful, and I will talk to you soon. Wash your hands and stay safe, everyone. Bye bye.